Okay, the scene set presents itself. The Sports Pavilion, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada. Joe Louis, just introduced by ring announcer Chuck Hall. And the fighters have just come into the ring. Ron Lyle at 220, George Foreman at a deceptive 226. I say deceptive because he looks lithe and supple. With me to work this fight, Ken Norton, currently the #1 rated contender for the heavyweight crown. And in the meantime, Ken told you at the top of this telecast that what he wanted to see about George Foreman was whether or not he was mentally settled. No secret about it. Many have felt that Foreman's psyche was materially damaged by the disaster in Zaire of 15 months ago. As for Ron Lyle, question there will be, will he be able to get to Foreman? And yet, in the long run, many feel if Lyle can survive the first 5 rounds, he is the better bet to win the fight, Foreman's stamina having become suspect in the Zaire affair. Now let's talk about George Foreman. There's been talk of a change in his style since he's gotten the new manager trainer, the veteran and wise Gil Clancy. Can a fighter change his style this late in the game?
I feel that he can change it in the gym, but once he gets into the heat of battle and gets hit, he's very subject to go back to what he knows best.
Okay. We're going to be back. More talk with Ken in just one moment. All right, apparently we have just a few seconds left. And now the commercial is upcoming. Okay, we're back live at ringside, the Sports Pavilion, Caesars Palace. The fight about a minute away. George Foreman, former heavyweight champion, against Ron Lyle. Chuck Hall, the ring announcer, is now making his welcoming speech to a very good crowd, which has virtually filled the Sports Pavilion. Foreman's record, of course, 40 victories, just 1 defeat, the knockout by Ali in the 8th round in Zaire. Lyle with a record of 31. 3-1. He lost a TKO affair to Ali here in Las Vegas last May. Jerry Quarry beat him, and then Jimmy Young unexpectedly beat him in Hawaii. The referee just announced by ring announcer Chuck Hall is Charlie Roth. Remember when Charlie Roth was a light heavyweight contender? He's about 50 years now. That's the introduction of Ron Lyle.
Fighting out of Livermore, California, weighing 226 pounds, introducing George Foreman.
Okay, the ring introductions of the riders finished. Kenny Norton, sitting to my right, will be scoring this fight for us unofficially. We'll be bringing you up to date throughout the course of the fight on Kenny's scoring and, of course, his comments interspersed during the course of the fight. The referee then, Charlie Roth, age 50. Refereed around the Cincinnati and Pittsburgh area for a long number of years. Just look at this. The face of George Foreman and, for that matter, of Ron Lyle, each speaking for itself. Crossroads fight for each fighter. If Foreman is to come back and get another shot at the crown, he must win this fight. And it would help to win it impressively. As for Lyle, well, he couldn't beat Ali. He couldn't beat Quarry. If he's to continue, he'll be 34 years of age shortly. Foreman was just 27. He's got to win. A wild, almost amateurish right as Lyle came charging out. Foreman in the red trunks, Lyle in the white. Lagging his right leg behind him in the manner that Frazier did against Ali in the last 2 fights between those two. The effect of that is really to cut off the ring. Lyle is not a bad boxer, though he has a tendency to let the hand stay too low. you can see, fighters feeling each other out. Lyle showing foot movement. George stalking, lagging the back leg, but not yet connecting with a stiff left jab. He tried to get first one in, didn't get it through. The second got in. I must say, Kenny, George appears to be in much better condition than in that abortive thing in Toronto last May against the 5 fighters.
That's very true. He looks very good. He's using a very good jab. Very stiff, very
Lyle got in a good left. George's face went back. Lyle has never been afraid of anybody. He doesn't know the meaning of the word fear. You know the Lyle story. 7.5 years in Colorado State prison. Learned to fight there. And as I told you earlier, fought Ali here last May, and Ali scored an 11th round TKO. A good right by Lyle. A good right by Lyle, and he's got Fórman in trouble. He's got him in trouble. George staggering off the ropes, and Lyle all over him. A surprising trend of events. George looking over here to Gil Clancy, sitting right next to me for instructions. You see George in trouble. A late flurry by Lyle, staggering George, who comes wobbling really back toward his corner. We're not breaking for a commercial. The round, not only Ron Lyle's, but the punishment and the damage. Let's look at it in slow motion, Kenny.
Okay, here he goes, a very good right hand. Very good right hand by Lyle there. He set him up good with a jab, but he got a little excited at the end and couldn't really take care of him. As I said before, Howard, it shows that Lyle has no fear of Fórman, none at all.
No fear in Ron Lyle at all. Good punching power in either hand. Nothing wrong with Ron Lyle's left. As I said at the very top of the telecast, if Ron Lyle can do any one thing, he can punch. But I don't see any of the old Fórman confidence. The guy who knocked you out in the second round, Kenny. Where is he?
I feel he has the confidence. I feel that this round he must come out fighting and take over, be very dominant.
The voice of Kenny Norton at ringside with yours truly.
If he isn't dominant, pardon me, Howard, if he isn't dominant this round, then Lyle will get very confident and run away.
Lyle right at him, but again with a wild swing. George trying to move, bouncing on his toes. That's the first time George got in 2 good short left jabs, and that's what he must do. Well, Lyle with a good left. George fighting back now.